dude. It's been a rough week, man. You know what I mean. Ascension, symptoms, cold, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it positive, but still, it's ascension symptoms. These ascension symptoms have been kicking my ass, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's good to be able to breathe 100%. It's good to not be full of that mucus. So your boy's feeling pretty great, man. Getting almost there, not at 100% energy, but getting there. But listen, I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about how you might be a villain to some of these narcissists. Like you might be a villain in their story. And there's a couple different ways to identify this um, when it comes to these kind of people. Start walking. Um, People like to sleep, and people like to keep things the way that they are, right? They don't want any change. They don't want things to be any different than they're used to. So when you come along, being the kind of person that you are, you irritate people automatically, man. You know, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, whoever you're around, you're influencing change. You're having people think differently, and narcissistic people rely on the patterns that have been set up by society, you know, and people moving a certain kind of way, thinking a certain kind of way, being naive a certain kind of way, you know, and ignorant. And the way that you're showing people how to notice a hater or a narcissistic person a mile away, it ruffles a lot of feathers. People have made businesses, plenty of money, a way of life, a whole image based off of this facade. And you're out here just letting everybody know about game, right? And I want to go ahead and say this because we all know who Ellen DeGeneres is, and this is a narcissist, right? She used to get on there and used to smile and, you know, act like she's nice, but then her guests would come on there and they would look so uncomfortable because she'd be asking, they don't know what kind of crazy questions she's going to ask. And if you ever watched her, she'd ask crazy questions and then sit there in delight to see how they're going to respond. Man, that's narcissistic. But to the average person, they thought she was great. They thought that she was nice. A lot of them thought that Oprah was nice as well. These are covert narcissists. And when people like you and me or a Cat Williams, anyone that exposes these kind of people and the way that they move, it really triggers them. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And, you know what I'm saying? Look, everybody's not like you. Most people move in a hurt manner, like I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me, or they're just wicked people that get pleasure out of seeing others in pain, man. And you're just not one of these. So and you can see it. And being able to see it doesn't mean that you do that kind of stuff. You can just see it, right? They also like to put on a mask and fake a personality, a persona, be a chameleon, and then they'll try to project that onto you. See, that's all they do is project. You're not being a chameleon. You're not putting on a mask. You're just charming. And you're able to pick up on people's personality from their energy, and you can vibe off of them and vibe with them, right? That don't mean that you're a manipulator, because to be manipulating someone, you have to be getting something out of it. You have to be getting something out of it. You don't give and give and give, and people call you a master manipulator to get to what point? Where's the manipulation? Where are you getting? You see what I'm saying? They'll project onto you because this is what the things that they do, right? They don't believe that there can be good people out there. And they also don't believe that people go through stuff and heal and get closer to God. They believe that you're running some kind of a gimmick or, you know, some type of a hustle or scam or whatever, because that's what they would do. You know what I mean? These people give themselves away all the time. And you just being how you are, man, like, narcs move funny, man. Okay, like a narc will act a certain way around you and then get around their people and talk about you a totally different way. And the average person wouldn't be able to pick up on this, right? They wouldn't notice. They get around the family members and the friends of that narc and, just be like, okay, they don't like me. Well, you got to think about it. Why don't they like you? Because even if they didn't like you, your person should be speaking up for you to where there's something about you to where they could be civil. Wouldn't it sound more along the lines of, that person, your person, is talking bad about you behind your back, and those people that know that person know how they speak, and those people don't really feel like faking it in front of you? You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all could be dealing with that kind of situation right now. That was random, but I just felt like that message needed to be said because sometimes you don't catch on to it. I've had this happen to me multiple times. Obviously with my ex-wife, her family couldn't stand me. And, I figured it was for other reasons, but I kind of caught on to it after a while. Like, yo, I think, and I started kind of like seeing smirks. And I was like, oh, okay. No wonder they dislike me so much. She must go back and say a lot of stuff that goes on in the house. Cause I don't, keep everything private in the house. That's what I used to do. But she must be going around telling everybody her perspective. You know what I'm saying? And hence the reason why these people dislike me as much. And narcs do this for multiple reasons. They want to be able to get out of the relationship without anybody questioning it. And also narcs like to use their family and their friends to cheat. So it's easier for them to make sure that those groups of people are always against you. So whenever they need to use them to facilitate a cheat session, it's not questioned, right? Like I picked up on all this stuff. I'm going to remind you guys about how my breakup went down. A crazy narc planned this whole thing where she faked her mother having this heart attack, and they needed to get surgery, or she needed surgery or whatever. And for some reason, she needed to leave South Carolina and go to Maryland to her mom, even though the mom has, another daughter that lives right down the road. But she said she was going to be gone for, a week. She said that the surgery was going to be 3 days and her mother would be walking around in 5. All of this sounded so fishy. I'm like, man, she was going to do all this just to facilitate a cheat session. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, she might not be just facilitating a cheat session. She might be trying to leave altogether. Woman started, taking her son out of school. I'm like, I thought you were going to be gone for a week. Taking her son out of school, all this kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, you know what, man? The writing's on the wall. The writing is on the wall, and the family never liked me. So, when she was using her mother as her escape plan, I was like, well, I can talk to her mom. Her mom won't lie about that. Yes, her mom would lie about that. Her mom and her family couldn't stand me. This woman couldn't stand me either. But again, being a narcissist, man, she had to facilitate a reverse discard because they don't know how to just roll out. So, you know what I'm saying? I pick up on context clues. I just started picking up what she was putting down. And that's something that I notice about narcs. They will always keep their family members and friends at a distance from you, and they will always dislike you because that narc's always feeding them this babble probably about how I'm making things hard and she has to do everything, all this lying and stuff. And it makes it easier on her and her family to go ahead and facilitate, to use the fact that, to lie about your mom needing heart surgery. The extent she went through to get away from me, I'm like, you gotta go. I would never want that on my worst enemy. My mom passed away. That's why I was mad too. You guys will understand that they are but narcs are not original thinkers. So, I had to leave in 2016 because my mom had a heart attack and I was gone for 30 days. So I knew they used that. Hey, what's going on? No. They were using that as their base, and I just knew it because I'm like, man, mother, heart attack. My mom I'm like, man, this chick. So when she said she's gonna be gone for a week, I told her I was gonna be gone for a week or two because I was supposed to be gone for a week or two. But they also said it was a massive heart attack. She might not make it. Well, she didn't make it. And I had to speak at the funeral. Well, her mother made it, didn't even get surgery. This woman had called my dad 3 days after getting to Maryland and told him that she's not coming back. My dad never told me this, right? And so after, he told me like a couple months ago. But she called and said, yeah, my mom's out of surgery. 3 days after leaving, And then said, yeah, I'm not coming back. It's too stressful with David. I just can't do it. Da, 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 da. And my dad never told me. He never told me. He was like, you told me to stay out of your business, so I just stayed out of your business. Thank God he did. Could you imagine what I would have been going through? I was already going through it for about a year, y'all. Could you imagine if I'd have known that woman had turned around 3 days after leaving, which means that I was right. It was all planned. It was all planned. You know, and the family was planning it with her. The last couple times I seen that family, right, they were smirking at me like, I'm telling you, man, she been planning that shit since the year before. You know, she bounced out in May, but she been planning it since the year before. So that's when she wished me dead the year before. So what I'm telling you is this. In her mind, I was a villain holding her back from her best life. In her mind, her family and her felt like I was a villain that was holding her down. I was an anchor, you know, that she couldn't really blossom into this great single mother that she wanted to be without me, you know, getting out of the way. So you guys never know if you're a villain in these narcissists' life, in their story, right? We can use more examples. You know, all these content creators, you know what I mean, that are out here that love to try to vilify someone that they don't know, right? They love to try to vilify me and other archetypes. And if you read between the lines, you know they're talking about someone, but you don't know what it is. But you're just out here doing the best you can do and living your best life and showing people the right way to do things. Well, apparently the way that you're showing people to do things rubs these narcissists the wrong kind of way. So now you're the villain in their story. And before I stop watching content, I know there's a lot of narcissists or narcissistic type of content creators, you know, kind of, you know, bending reality to try to make my archetype seem like a bad person and all this, just really bending reality, right? And it's like, it goes to show no matter what you're putting out, no matter what you're trying to do for people, you will always be a villain in somebody's story, right? Now, does that make you an actual bad guy? Absolutely not. It does not make you a bad guy because you're a villain in a bad guy or bad girl story. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that it is. But I'm saying this because I want you guys to understand how messed up their mind is. You see what you're doing as moral, just, and things of that nature, right? You know, you got a little bit of morality to you. You know what I mean? A little bit of a conscience. You move along the lines of someone with a soul. But they don't think that way. So a person like you, who you believe is in alignment with God, you're minding your business and you're manifesting with God and things like that. Well, you have wicked people out here that do a lot of wicked things, or lazy people out here that do a lot of lazy things, and seeing you being productive on a regular basis irritates their demons. So much so that they want to send energy your way to slow you down, to stop you, to try to interfere with, you know, this happens all the time. Now, the only problem is when you actually start taking it in and internalizing it, because you have to understand there's celebrities out here that have people that build their entire platforms off of hating on them. And these celebrities just know how, you know, you got to just cleanse your energy, man. You just clean your house out. Do some cleaning. It's always good to cleanse. Take a shower, you know, get outside, walk in nature. Things like this cleanses this kind of wicked, you know, energy off of you from people that are projecting onto you, because they see how God moves through you. It makes them jealous. It bothers them. It triggers them. So what they have to do is scour the internet to put together babble that can vilify you in some type of way. And what they do is, you know, they put you on a pedestal just so they can try to exploit whatever they believe to be some type of weakness or, you know, deficiency or something you're lacking in, when it doesn't matter, because overall you're doing so good as a human being. No one should be overly judging you. But this is what they do whenever they're trying to smear campaign you, when they're trying to throw dirt on your name, when they're trying to discredit whatever you're doing. They got to do these mental gymnastics to make the person that you are seem like a bad guy, right? When you're not. You're just minding your own business. And again, it's only because You are you're a villain in these narcissist stories. You're their villain, right? They're living a great life, bullying people, making their babble seem like it makes sense, just feasting off of, torment, torture, and trauma. And then you come along and be like, look, y'all, every day is precious. It's about the moment. I need to be worried about what anybody else thinks and what social media says and how people believe that you should move in modern society based off of social norms that we don't know who started them. We don't know the real reason for them. A lot of them are control mechanisms, right? Just like in certain countries, they're starting this social credit score. It's a control mechanism to make sure that people, don't act individually. They want us to be robots. They want us to move like robots, all think the same, so they can always predict what you're going to do. So you'll always be a slave. You'll always be a worker bee. You'll never start inventing things, thinking outside the box, freeing people, freeing yourself, getting money in a way that the powers that be don't want to see you doing it. They want you to get money through the mechanism they set up. They don't like you coming up with new stuff. They don't want none of this stuff. And when you're a free thinker, this happens. And they don't want you to be a free thinker. They have a lot of control mechanisms put in place to make sure your ass don't think too much. A lot. Social media, television, a lot of stuff. The school system, social norms. Anybody that doesn't do anything according to the social norms, human beings will act like police officers and police you. You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing it. Letting something bother them that has nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? This is how far that we're just out of it. Like we're letting powers that be or powers of something or powers that were make you feel like you have any kind of control over another person, make you think that your individual opinion and perspective of whatever that person's doing matters, and you should do something about whatever that person's doing that's bothering you. What you should do is move it along, but instead you want to do something. You want to affect that person. And with social media being set up the way it is, why are there so many different ways for people to troll? Why is it so hard for you to block, report trolls, keep them blocked? Why isn't there a task force out here to stop trolling? They're telling us to deal with trolling like it's a part of life, and we've all gotten used to it. Why? Why have we gotten used to allowing people to invade our energy and play around? And if we say something about it, now we're the bad guys because, hey, it's what people do. You should just accept it. Why? Why? Why are they building task force to stop men that are telling other men to think before getting married, but they're not building task force to stop trolling? Because trolling is a mental control mechanism. When you know you're going to get trolled, when you know trolls are going to be there, when people can project their opinion without any accountability or responsibility, it's going to cause stress. It's going to cause stress. It causes some people to not even want to go live, right? It's a mechanism. It's a system, right? So that's the only reason for it. If it was doing anything to benefit people, they would have been done started a task force. There'd be auto mechanisms within live streams to stop trolls that are saying certain things that go along with what trolls normally, you know what I'm saying? They would have stuff set up that way. They have nothing set up. You wanna know why? Because part of these government agencies are the trolls. They can just start a system of trolls very easy, man. They can easily start up a system of trolls. Troll whoever they want that they believe is putting out too much truth to make him seem like he's maybe not all there or she's not all there. Gaslight them, make them seem like they're crazy, and then they can control any content that goes against that person and push that stuff to the top. Very easy to control people's opinions and stuff and be able to push agendas when people don't understand that the internet is not no free thinking, free thought, open space. It's all controlled. It's all controlled, man. So when y'all get on here and try to make me think that the internet is real, no, it's not. Nothing in real life is controllable. You are born and then you die at some point in time. No one can control nature when the sun comes up, when the sun goes down. But the internet is completely controlled opposition. So I treat it as such. I don't give a shit. I be on here flying around like Neo. Y'all be like, what is that doing? Why is he getting on here saying I'm flying around, I'm doing whatever I want? It's not real. It's the internet. Y'all make it real because they want y'all to think that it's real. That's why they allow you to make money on it, and they make you think that your image on there matters so much. No, it doesn't. That's not who you really are. All they're doing is making sure that we don't interact with each other in person. And now a lot of you younger generational people, you done lost those soft skills. You don't know how to really talk to people in person. That is a skill. And when you're online all the time, like a lot of y'all are, and a lot of y'all are really good at making money and making memes and editing videos, but if you try to have a conversation with a regular person in real life, man, you fall apart. Have a hard time, you be struggling. It's sad to look at. I'm like, these are the same jokers that'll be editing a video like a doggone movie producer, but can't hold a conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's a digital world we live in. What a time to be alive. That's why men like me, women like y'all, men out there like y'all are needed, man, because we have to make sure that we keep everybody grounded. It's wild out here. I've been following for a minute. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. What's going on, Bingo? What's going on? I appreciate it, buddy. Now I'm saying, just out here, you know, putting the message out. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I've been sick. Well, you know, I call it ascension symptoms because we're not victims here. But your boy been sick for like a week. But I've been pushing through, dropping content. But if you can tell my voice, man, in the past couple of days, it's been hitting your boy. But, you know, I'm still out here doing it, man. Just slow down a little bit, you know, sleep a little bit more. Still getting it done. But I'm feeling better today. So I imagine I'll be even better tomorrow. So we might be getting close to, you know, normal video posting activity again. A couple a day, getting her done. But, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. This cold was kicking my ass, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to be able to breathe out of both my nostrils today. It's a wild day, man. It's been a wild week. You know what I'm saying? But I just toughed it out. We threw it. But I mean, I'm just going to be real with it. And that's how it is, you guys. You know, a lot of us we're villains to these people. And that's why I always tell y'all that life's about perspective. Everybody has their own perspective. That's why I don't like getting online arguing with people because it don't make any sense. Everybody's entitled to their own perspective. We're all humans having a human experience. You know what I'm saying? We're all part of God, having a human experience in the realm. And all of our perspectives are going to be different. So getting online, bickering with people, trying to convince them of your perspective, and they're trying to convince you of their perspective, to me, is just idiotic. And it's a waste of time. I don't do stuff like that. That's why you don't see me on panels or trying to get on them. Why would I do that? If I'm just trying to give y'all a bunch of drama to watch, I can do that on my own. I don't really need a group of people to do it. But, you know, trying to convince a woman that was raised in a whole different area, parent-wise, community, that my perspective is this, and this is why you should see it that way, I believe it's idiotic. It doesn't go nowhere. You know, you'll have people that you've been around. You'll have people that you've been around for years, and you can't convince them of your ideology or your perspective, so why would going on a panel? It's all about just trying to get some clout, and I'm gonna do it my own way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for that. Right? So you are a villain to certain people that like things a certain way. They like to be able to go on panels, and they like to be able to argue with men. Listen, I see it like this. I see semi or attractive women on panels arguing with men. I thought I heard something over here. Somebody ran into my mailbox again, man, so I gotta keep an eye on my stuff. I see a lot of semi to attractive women arguing with men on panels. And what I see from my perspective, right, is single women, possibly single mothers, and they don't have a man. So the best thing to do is to get on a panel full of men that they would date and then argue with them, right? Because that's just a boyfriend by proxy. So I see this kind of stuff because when I see women that are married and they're on panels, they move different. They don't do too much. They're not trying to get the attention that kind of way, and they're trying to get their points across. But single women, they'll get on those panels and they'll just argue and and it's like, man, you're just getting your rocks off because you don't have a man. So this is the closest thing to it, and the closest thing you're gonna get to it. And that's why I'm just not interested. You know what I'm saying? You have women on there on these panels and stuff, all outside of the frame, all outside of their frame, yelling. You can see the veins in their throats, you know, voice be deep from smoking Black and Miles and Newports and stuff. And it's just like, man, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Again, you're just a villain in some people's story. You can't help it. But, you know, before I go, I'm going to say this one last time. Just because you're a villain in a narcissist story doesn't mean that you're a bad guy, right? These psychopaths, man, they'll make anybody out to be a villain. They're crazy. You know, they spin stories, man. They feed off negativity. They age badly. You know, what else you want me to say? If they don't have any real good source, like an empath, they age badly. They'll be aging like milk all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I normally know a narcissist from an empath, because a lot of these people claim to be empaths, but they're really narcissists. You look at them like, now you're aging bad, and then they're always talking negative, right? They're always talking in code, and I'm like, nah, these are telltale signs of a narcissist. You ain't got no supply, so you're aging like milk, you know what I'm saying? And you're talking crazy with all this wordplay and stuff like that. I catch them every time. You know, an empath, when they heal, they're on some peace, love, and light. Of course, they're going to talk to you about how to overcome narcissists and stuff like that. But you're going to see the aura on them. The energy on them is going to be different. You're going to watch them look younger and younger. And they're not going to be putting shiny crap on their face to achieve this look and faking it. It's going to be from within. You're going to be able to tell it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen plenty of women putting crap on their face to imitate that shine that you get once you get through the dark night of the soul and dealt with a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? They're faking it by putting, I don't know what they're using, man. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of oil or something. I don't know, or whatever. But that's not it. That's not it. You know what I mean? I can always tell a woman that's a true empath, or a woman that's, you know, in her own divine feminine energy. Hey, what's going on, Rachel? What's going on? Because, you know, she'll just be bright. She'll have a sunny disposition. There's not going to be a lot of undertones of shade and hate and malice and bitterness and vitriol. It's not going to have a whole bunch of those undertones, right? Because those are scars. Those are unhealed wounds. And I'm not trying to get into a relationship with a woman that believes that her exterior looks good while she's toting all these scars on her face from her previous relationships and whatever parent-child structure that fell apart with her legal guardians. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the time for it, right? We're out here doing the best that we can. Some people will not like you. And some people will come up with elaborate ways to try to throw shade at you. Now, you can think to yourself, why don't these losers put that elaborate type of thinking towards putting themselves in a better position so they can get rich? That's just not their destiny. Hence the reason why you trigger them. They don't have it in them. So it just is what it is, right? You know, you get a little bit of the bad with the good because, you know what I'm saying, the duality of things. And when you draw in great people, you're also going to draw in great enemies, right? For no reason. So that's how I look at it. I don't really let my haters really bother me anymore. I know who these low IQ losers are. None of their words mean anything again, because I know who I am, and I've realized, like I said earlier, that at this point in stage of my evolution, I'm surrounded by haters. I'm just surrounded by haters. And when I get to a certain place, people that recognize who I am and are doing the same thing themselves, that don't see the need in hating on me, will find their way to me. But like right now, I'm just surrounded by haters. So I don't listen to what a hater says. Once I said before, like I said before, I don't care what anybody has to say, you know, about me, period, point blank, or how they want to, you know, describe me from their perspective. Once I realize that you're not doing anything productive or great for me, you know, in my journey, on my journey, and in this reality for me, you're just not there. So it don't matter who it is or what groups it is or whatever it is, I just cut them off. I cut them off like I never knew them, I cut them off like I never seen nothing that they've posted before. And every time I do stuff like this, I get rid of these haters. I'm just lighter. I just feel like I can achieve more. I'm more motivated. You know, it's just, you gotta call the devil out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta call the devil out. I do what I do. It is what it is. I have no problem with being the bad guy in a bunch of loser stories. I don't care, man. It is what it is. Being a bad guy in your story does not mean that I'm a bad person or that good people don't like me or would like me. You're just a loser, and you project and you want to make it seem like I'm something I'm not. And if I try to get out there and get ahead of everybody that's trying to say something about me, it'll never work. It'll never work. This is the times we live in, right? Everybody wants to be negative. Everybody wants to be negative. It's more fun to be negative than it is to be positive. It's more fun to play with words and try to get into somebody's head than to try to put words out there that are going to be inspiration and motivational, right? It's just more fun to do that, because I'm going to tell you the truth before I go. Everybody's all messed up. Anyone that's online that gets off on trying to project a narrative onto someone when they don't even really know them like that, these people got so much trauma going on, they don't even know that what they're doing is not normal. They don't even know that what they're doing is super weird, and it's probably something that's caused from some healing that they need to do. Like, it's caused from some childhood trauma, relationship trauma, maybe just, you know, not ever getting out of poverty trauma. God knows, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? What's going on, family? How you doing? How you living? And these people don't really realize it. And, you know, I have, and plenty of people do, content creators that can't wait for me to post something just so they can have an idea, so they can go run and make some crazy stuff. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. The demons in these people are able to live in a society right now where people don't care how evil you are. Matter of fact, you stand out more trying to be a good person. You'll have more enemies than if you were just going along like everybody else and being super wicked. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, you know what I'm saying? 32 minutes. Yeah, it's about time to go. Keep doing what you're doing. It's 9. I got to get up in here and handle a few things. I'm going to try to go live again before I go to bed. But it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Just stick to whatever you're doing. These narcs are going to be narcs, man. Know that just because somebody makes you into an enemy and someone decides to call you a villain and doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true, okay? Anyway, you guys, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Share the live stream. We're growing. You know, I want to make sure that we get as many of the wolves out there as we can. Not too bad, John. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day, right? Every day. And, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you doing that definitely inspires other people to keep going as well. And that's why I like to get out here, even though I've been sick this past week, or I'm sorry, ascension symptoms. We're not victims. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shedding off this ascension, your boy's been barely able to breathe out of his nose or whatever, but hey, I got over it. Now I can get out here and push forward. I was still able to put out some content while I was sick, so that's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's all good. So, I mean, every day, 1 foot forward, right? Doing the best you can. You know, not letting the world get on top of you. That kind of energy, it resonates with a lot of people. And I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you joining. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all joining anytime that y'all do. If you catch the replay, I appreciate y'all watching the replay. Also, watch my other channel, Lone Wolf Narc Bully. I will be dropping a live stream on there later on or whatever. But I'm not going to hold y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was a great live stream. I love chopping it up, talking about these narcs and these cyber narcs and how they're moving nowadays. You know what I'm saying? We got to exchange the information so we can stay on top of things. But peace, love, and light, you guys. Have a great night. I'm your brother, and I love you. Oop. Again.